Mike Draco in the house first tonight. Good to see you, Mike, from Cincinnati, representing Ohio well out there. Hey, this is Crystal Cycle Source Magazine. We're back from Daytona. Actually, just hopped out of the truck at midnight last night, and we have some Daytona recap for you guys. We got Dan Toce on with us tonight from Toce Performance. We're going to be talking about the Sons of Speed Racing, everything that went on there, the fact that he let me win. He's such a good brother that he actually let me win to help me build up my confidence and make me feel good about the sad state of affairs that my race game is. Good man right there. But he also had, listen, I've been involved in some epic shit. And if you think about the fact that, like, most people want to go to Daytona once, some people want to go there and actually win something or do something cool. Some people want epic Daytona memories. Some people are involved in something that is totally historic, unparalleled. I've been involved in two of those things now that I was involved in the Toce shop party. We're going to talk about it all tonight because it was the craziest shit I've ever seen in Daytona. Lots of people checking in tonight. Full Throttle Magazine. What's up, guys? Robin Higginbottom. Radar Fletcher in the house with us. Tom Kiefer Jr. Ashley Woodford, who made her debut at Sons of Speed, racing one of Godspeed's 45s. Jeremy Sather. Dennis Stauber, Big D in the house. Big D was hanging with us tough in Daytona. Mike Robb with us. Yeah, Ashley, killing it. She was killing it. I knew you were going to do good on that track. Got on, got up to speed, was kicking out good lap times, looked really good on the track. Steve Sokol, Wisconsin, checking in. Jeremy Sather, Gainesville, Florida. So you guys are getting the hang of this. Pretty soon you're not even going to need me as a host. But listen, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. We're going live with this one, and somebody has to read the news, so you know I'm going to stick around. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Shop Talk in 2.5. Radar says, I've been to Daytona for 15 years in a row, always had a great time at the Broken Spoke. And man, I'll tell you what, this year, that was even more the case. Like, they've been adding cool event after cool event. It's always like going home there, but now, look, Steve Sokol's teach me how to say, Menasha. See, I avoided that just so I didn't butcher it. Rush Journey, Kearney, Nebraska. But yeah, this year they put more paver stones in, actually from the front street pretty much the whole way to the bar. And it's a beautiful, beautiful property now. So if you missed it, Biketoberfest is right around the corner, as sad as that is to say. As fast as time's going anymore, you'll get another chance. Hey, Shop Talk going live every Sunday night at 9 p.m. here on the East Coast. And you can do us a solid by hitting the like and share button. Make sure your friends and neighbors know when we're going live. You can set up alerts so when we do, you know too. Help us get this program out everywhere. 230 episodes as of this evening. Tony Tello Sr. in the house with us, just back. Daytona 200 flat track and bagger racing was epic this year. Steve Broyles in from Detroit. William Joseph Cassio. What's up, buddy? Lots of stuff to talk about tonight, but this is only part one of our Daytona recap. We're going to do the next few episodes. We're going to be checking out a lot of stuff from Daytona. Robin, I don't know what's up with the audio on this end that's good, so anyone else having audio problems, let us know, but it might be on your end. Facebook user, yo, what's up, guys? Just 16 seconds. Oh my God, 16 seconds, and we got to go live with this one. I guess that's time to get this one out of the station and up onto the track. Let's go live with this week's episode of Shop Talk. Here we go. Okay, scooter tramps and chopper jockeys all across the land. It's just after 9 p.m. on the East Coast. That means it's time for another episode of Shop Talk here 50 floors beneath the street level in the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. Glad to be here, but man, Daytona was off the hook. You know, this was one of those years where they had to pry me out of the house to get to go. Everything seemed harder getting ready, and I was dragging my ass. And man, by the time we got there, it was so good that they had to drag me back home. But my crew is here. We didn't have you, Mark.
Yeah, I was.
That's your fault.
I was in prison.
Mm-hmm.
He was in polyester prison.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, my
I just want it to be known that you are the tiny acorn. You started at exactly 9 o'clock. I'm so impressed.
Sweet Jesus.
The tiny acorn.
So what's going on over there in the body shop at Flat Broke?
It's hell. It's horrible. There's demons, shit screaming at me. I don't even know what the hell's going on. I think the radio actually knows I'm in there and it yells at me
Why are you doing, like, one is enough at any given moment, but three at a time?
It was
Are
either
you just want something to complain about?
it was either
like you're a
that
glutton
or
for punishment.
starting to do the old crack cocaine again. Who are you kidding? I actually at one point said to Chris, has Heather killed you yet? Because I knew when he said that he was going to be home at a certain time that he was at that point just going down to about 44 mile an hour, and then he was going to go back up to 72 mile an hour, and then back down to 51 mile an hour. And you were over in the passenger seat going, Jesus.
Hey, so check it out. I want to give a shout out to Mike Woodyshek is in the house with us. Had a great time with us in Daytona. Dude, it was so awesome to finally get to spend time with you. Everybody, we have to...
He might be one of my new favorite people. He's on the favorite people list.
Right, absolutely. But we have to start out tonight with a huge shout out because we had part of our good fortune for Daytona this year was the fact that some friends of ours in an unnamed location
took very good care of us. Yeah,
Gary and Miss Annie took very good care of us. We got to stay in this beautiful house right by the water. And every night, see that shot right there? Every night we got to come back home and Flash and Mike Woodyshek and Will and all these guys, and you never knew who. There'd be 12 other people that were just stopping by.
Yeah, every night it was somebody different. It was so great.
And you just hung out in the garage. Then every morning, this was the sunrises. Beautiful. Will was there.
Will's
beautiful
the man.
Time. Yeah, beautiful
Will's
time.
The man.
So
Bill Stevens, that's not very nice.
He's not worth meeting. He's talking about you.
I'm not a he.
That's horrible.
eBay
That's
Jake in the
mean.
house. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Jake.
So Jake did one of the most solid things. Everybody at this point heard that Moonshiner Josh had an accident on the track. Jake did one of the most solid things, and I want to make sure that I mention this because a lot of people think that right after Josh wrecked, Jake wrecked too, and the truth was Jake hopped off, and anybody that races knows what that means. As he came around turn 3 and 4 and saw that a down rider was in his line, he literally ditched his motorcycle and hopped off.
That video is chilling. Like, whenever you know that's coming, like, I want to know what was going through Jake's head. I'm shocked he's not on here tonight.
Yeah, we thought about it, but I kind of want to wait. That's sort of why we're starting off with Dan tonight. We're going to talk about Sons of Speed. We're going to talk about everything that went on, and we're going to bring up some updates that we have and stuff. But I want to wait till those guys get back into full good health before we really get into a lot of it. But yeah, it was heavy, and with good reason. I mean, the track was fast this year, boy. Everybody was hauling ass. There was tons more racers,
Yeah, it was a fast track this year. Like,
the videos were awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, Chris got his training wheels off. That was great.
It only hurts.
Big boy shoes on this year.
Only hurts when it's the ones you love, Mark. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, I know the feeling.
I love you, honey.
Oh, it was cool knowing that you were getting the opportunity to actually step up to the next, the next level. I think that's pretty much maybe in some small way past humor. That's what Heather meant. But it seemed like you were stepping up into, the big leagues, and apparently you did in a big way. So.
Yeah, he was totally comfortable out there. You could see just and how he held his lines
Well-
and his body position and everything. It was a huge difference.
We're gonna Drew Woodford, go ahead and hit her with the grinder again.
Notice the word again. Look at, I'm scarred for life.
Hey, you
with
know,
that.
you do know that
see it.
he almost killed me, almost cut my femoral artery with a grinder.
Yeah, that's a true story.
Yeah,
That's a
he
true
let
story.
the grinder fly, ruined I bought a $250 pair of nice, dry, waterproof boots. The night I wore them to the shop, the grinder flew out of his hand, sliced my thigh, ruined my brand new boots. So.
So hey, we're gonna
like
we're gonna
moving
talk
on,
about
cricket.
all of this. We're gonna talk about all of this tonight, but right now we're gonna start off the program like we normally do. Now, what is Shop Talk? If it's your first time checking us out, we do everything you would expect to find in Cycle Source magazine in video format. We do some feature bikes, some tech. We do event coverage. We do cool interviews. We usually start the whole thing off with a little segment we like to call the news.
The Shop Talk World Report is brought to you by Law Tigers. Get the compensation you deserve and get back on the road with Law Tigers.
First up in the news tonight, in from Top Speed, first look at the U.S. spec Harley-Davidson X350 on American turf. And I don't think I have... Oh, man! Yeah, I do have a button for that picture. Harley-Davidson QJ Motors joined hands in 2019 and intended to give HD a chance to exploit, there's a good word, the entry-level motorcycle space. And now, after 4 long years, the Moco's smallest modern roadster, the X350, has finally reached HD's home, America. As suspected, the motorcycle has only reached Harley-Davidson Riding Academy dealerships for exclusive training use and won't be available for sale. Nevertheless, here's a first look at the 2023 X350 in the flesh via Burt's Harley-Davidson. So,
Did that say won't be for sale?
no,
No,
they're saying
using them for training only for now.
in the United States it won't
Yes.
be for sale.
Yeah, they're for
all
sale
over the
in-
rest of the globe.
Yep.
But I don't know, man. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, why?
There's so much to talk about with the Y. Like the QJ motor, the
What is
Chinese
that thing on the? That's
the
dumb.
Chinese manufacturer that's making these, like literally 100% of these are being manufactured in China, and it goes against so much for me. So, moving on from car and bike, Royal Enfield Himalayan recalled in USA for a brake-related issue. 4,891 units of the Himalayan in U.S. are being recalled over this brake-related issue. Possible brake corrosion. Royal Enfield has recalled the nearly 5,000 units of the Himalayan adventure motorcycle due to brake-related issue. The models that were recalled were manufactured between March 1st, 2017, February 28th, 21. Countries with colder climates, such as USA, often use salts or combination of salts and de-ice roads. This may result in corrosion of brakes, which is what happened with the affected units of the Himalayan. Front and rear brake calipers of the affected RE Himalayan models could be corroded due to salt, and a complete loss of braking function is a possibility.
What are they made out of? Flour?
I don't know, but the last thing you want to do is
Buy one of those?
take your Himalayan riding through the mountains and find out that the only
There's
way
no
you got to
brakes,
stop
right?
is a Barney Rubble brake.
Oh goodness.
All right. Also moving on, Cycle Source Magazine's World Report. You can check us out online at cyclesource.com and get all of our news. But here we have the news from Daytona. Kyle Wyman and Factory Harley-Davidson dominate Moto America King of the Baggers Race 2 at Daytona Speedway. We all know Daytona Beach. We all know Daytona Bike Week is synonymous with speed and racing, so it only makes sense that the most iconic brand in motorcycling comes out swinging the first King of the Baggers race on Saturday, March 11th, 2023. Now, incredible. Harley-Davidson, incredible. Wyman, incredible. These races are going to a whole new level, though. Yeah. Like, I would be remiss to not talk about the fact that, like, the amount of control these guys have. I saw a video of one of the riders, I can't remember who it was coming through, it was either a chicane or a keyhole bend, and coming out the other side, the entire bike was shaking. The dude never let off of it. You expected him to high side at any moment, and he rode it the whole way through, but they're going so fast. They're pushing these things so fast. It's an absolute blast. Let's see. Kyle Wyman signaled that he was riding a bike that would beat after demolishing his qualifying time with a new lap record of 1 minute 50 seconds. time warm-up session, going almost 2 seconds quicker around the course than anyone in Saturday's race. Wyman had a fast lap of 150.86 and was never challenged. Unfortunately, his teammate Travis Wyman was knocked out of the race early with a mechanical issue. So, not sure if the
180 miles per hour. Mike Robb says.
Go.
That's getting it.
That's about 100 miles faster than, well, nearly 100 miles faster than the fastest bikes were going at Sons of Speed.
That's pretty fast.
That's hauling ass.
Yeah, buddy.
No, thank you.
That is hauling ass. Hey, this
two times as fast as the van was going some points on the way home from Daytona.
3 times. Trust me, there were times when I'm like,
listen.
Hey, babe. Hey, hello.
I have
out of
no
the parking lot.
I have no shame about sleeping behind the wheel of my truck. You know, and the fact
Just
that
not as you're going down the road.
Well, no, I'll do that.
I've done
That's what
some
I'm
of my
saying.
best driving then.
So, also in the bagger racing world, and this comes in from Road Racing World and Motorcycle Technology, Indian selling limited edition Challenger RR track bikes for $92,229.
I'll take 2.
And homage to Tyler O'Hara, number 29, only 29 Indian Challenger race bikes offer rare opportunity for riders and collectors to own the undisputed king of the baggers. And listen, as crazy as this sounds, I can totally see guys wanting to do this because
Oh my God, yeah.
I'm telling you, as sure as shit, if Honda offered an actual replica of the Nicky Hayden Repsol Honda, I would own that shit.
Yeah.
I would find a way to own that motorcycle. It would be
He'd
here
be
in my
like,
garage.
Heather, I'm sorry we have to sell the house, but I really need this bike in
The
my
good
life.
news is we're keeping the garage,
Yeah.
and I'm expanding on it.
Good
so.
news and I have bad news.
You said you wouldn't mind living in the camper for a little bit.
When does Yamaha and Kawasaki bagger themselves into this?
Yeah, how about that?
You know, that's the
Nobody's
next question.
asking that question yet, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. When do they jump in? you know?
Wow.
I'm surprised that. Good question mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially Yamaha. You
Right?
could really see Yamaha.
Yep.
Huh.
Well, and Kawasaki has a couple, fairly decent baggers. I remember we did a couple test ride articles on them. They've got to come in
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've wondered that from the gate. So
Yeah, that's good. That's good. We're gonna have to get old Rob Bitos on and find out is there anything like with the motor configurations or anything that
what's
That's
holding them out?
prohibiting
Did
them?
they do something to hold them out? There's the question.
It's a good question.
eBay Jake, ever the racer and the competitor, he says, I mean, they got a way longer path to be wide open. We got 600 feet of straightaway. So he's already saying, if we had a longer straight, we'd be in. All right, this last story for the evening coming in from Motorsports Newswire. Eagle Rider secures exclusive deal to be the only company to offer rentals and tours on the new Harley-Davidson Pan American in the United States. In partnership with Harley-Davidson, Eagle Rider announced today that the company has been chosen as the exclusive provider of rentals and tours in the HD Pan American in the United States. Motorcycle enthusiasts have been praising the Pan American, which Hot Cars named one of the most badass motorcycle Harley-Davidson has ever made, due to its high-tech feature and impressive power, making it comfortable for distance riding in all types of terrain. Adventure-seeking travelers who want to be one of the first to experience how Pan American feels on the road can now sign up to ride this coveted bike for any of the 3 newly launched Eagle Rider tours rolling out in Alaska. You can check them out.
So, honey, I think we need to go do an article
Eagle Rider
on this,
tour.
an Eagle Rider tour, and let people know about the experience. It's for the
You
good
know,
of our
for the good.
followers.
Honey, and this is
saying.
what I love about you. You give until it hurts.
Yeah.
It usually hurts me, but
Oh, please.
They should
Come
get
on.
some of those 350s.
We
they
were
just
talking about
recalled.
doing the Alaskan Highway anyway.
Teach them how to fall off when your brakes don't work.
did you did you notice Heather's new do?
What's she-
Well,
Does
this
she have the what was
the
their
Kardashians.
No,
What?
I didn't notice. What's the crazy chick in the movie with the baseball bat? Harley Quinn. Is
Joey's
it the Harley
here.
Quinn thing?
Is he really?
Yes.
Wow, look at that. Joey Orsini in the house with us, man. Big love, brother. Big love. We're all praying for you.
Sorry. Butterfly.
So what actually happened was while we were in Daytona this week, Heather realized that she had a pretty significant fan base. They kept coming up and talking to her. So Now all of a sudden
Yeah,
What
change
does
her
that
hair.
have to do?
she has a makeup girl and a wardrobe and
You're
stuff
so
here every night.
full
Oh, so there's where my green M&Ms went.
My God, I want y'all to know that his hip waders just don't go high enough.
Oh shit.
You are so. That's why your eyes are the color they are.
Oh boy.
Shit Muckmaru Brown. Hey man, listen, you're watching Shop Talk. We appreciate you guys being here with us. We are going to take a look at a cool ass feature bike that actually we got from Daytona. When we come back on the other side, we're going straight to Toce, so don't go anywhere. You're tuned in through the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio Network to Shop Talk.
Out of Focus is brought to you by Garage Build. Submit your build, share your passion. Powered by Dennis Kirk.
All right, hey everybody, we're here live from Daytona, and I tell you what, we're super excited to award Jeff the Best Overall Gorilla Pro Award for your bike. So Jeff, tell us about it. Where are you from? Tell us about this unique, unbelievable bike.
Well, I'm from Savannah, Georgia, and it's a 70 Honda with Amen Savior frame on it, and it's been customized from the front tire to the back tire. The name of the bike is Acapulco Gold, and if you see there's a lot of gold on it, there's a lot of chrome on it, a lot of custom paint on it, so everywhere you look there's something custom on this motorcycle. It took 2.5 years to build, and then we're still tweaking it. So, you know, you never get done building a bike once you build one. It's just a continuous show. All this gold is 24 karat gold. All this stuff as you see it, that's really gold, it's 24 karat.
All hand fabricated, hand twisted, foot pegs.
Yeah.
This guy put so much work into this, and you can see it through and through. Not just the paint job, but everything underneath it. From the custom tank to the custom seat, everything about this bike is unbelievable.
But what you showed me was something I've never seen before. A credit card start?
Yes.
What's that all about?
Well, this motorcycle cranks with a credit card, don't crank with a key, because we wanted something different, and we wanted something nobody else got. So we have a system in a box where you put a credit card in there, and it fires up.
Hey Jeff, congratulations. We're super excited for you, and we're proud to make this announcement. Best overall for Gorilla Pros. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate it.
All right, y'all, take care. Thanks for checking in.
We're the Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers. We understand the challenges riders face every day. As riders, we want to share the road and be seen by motorists. Remaining visible is critical to our safety and well-being. That's why we work tirelessly to promote motorcycle safety and awareness. We're proud to support our community that includes riders of all stripes. If you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. The Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers.
Everything we do at the track shapes what we build for the street and the dirt.
You can see how bad these guys want it. A race to the line.
For us, racing is not for the trophies or the glory. We compete because it makes everything we do faster, more durable, and tested to a higher standard. For S&S, racing is the ultimate in proven performance, and we've been proving it since 1958.
Hey, this is Chris with Cycle Source Magazine, and today I want to talk to you guys about tires. So I'm in the Dennis Kirk warehouse where they pretty much have a tire for anything on two wheels. You know, that's one of the tricky things today in your local shop. Sometimes it's hard to get a tire. Well, they ship today from here, so pretty much any of these you can have tomorrow. Everything for your dirt bike, your ATV, your UTV, you can get these out today. And in addition to features like the tire finder on their website, if you buy the wheel at the same time you buy the tire, you get free mounting and balancing. Check them out today at DennisKirk.com.
Hey, this is Reynold Nolch with Cycle Showcase STL, and you're watching Shop Talk.
So good, right? Hey, welcome back to Shop Talk. I'm Chris with Cycle Source Magazine. You are watching the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio Network, and we're rolling into our first round of the Daytona coverage. Daytona was sick this year.
I have a question.
Yeah, I have one too. Hold on.
Okay.
I'll bet you $50 there's a hotel room in Georgia without a key lock.
Mike, I was wondering about the technology of that key too. Like, how's that
it's
work?
a door lock.
Right.
But it actually started it,
Yeah,
right?
as soon as you put the it's like a key. As soon as you put the key in the slot, it closes the circuit and fires the bike up. It's like a light switch. The
It's
clapper.
still pretty cool.
That's
Still
pretty
pretty
neat,
cool.
though. I
oh,
like
it's awesome.
it.
It's awesome.
That's really cool. I'd never seen that before.
I just don't want to rent that room in Georgia.
So, lots of good stuff to get to tonight, but one of the guys that's involved in, multi-tiered events and racing and everything in Daytona is Dan Toce. And not only that, his shop has become the Island of
Apparently.
Misfit Toys.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can say is, like, every chopper bum, every motorcycle idiot with a story and a broke motorcycle ends up at Tosa's at one time or another throughout the week. And God bless him and everybody
We
there.
were there a
because-
lot, apparently.
Yeah, we were there a lot. They help everybody. It's a great spot. It's a really, really great service, and we wanted to get him on here because he's involved in so much of what we have to talk about tonight.
Apparently, community too. He's doing line painting, street line painting now,
I
from
know.
what I understand.
And I don't think that's part of an imposed community service. I think they just give. They give a lot there.
He's
at
a
Toast.
giver. He's a hell of a giver.
Let's get him on the show.
Just Hanging Out in the Shop is brought to you by Spectral Oils. Made in the USA since 1966, the best oil on planet Earth.
Dan,
Hey, what's up, guys?
my man.
I have to say, part of me thinks we almost owe Dan an apology, but
I apologized
because
a couple
nobody
times.
went to jail, I think we're good.
He was right there cheering everybody on, I'm sure.
Well, secretly, I mean, here's the official story is we had a shop party, all of us together at Tosa's, and then those young guys just all showed up, and we don't know how that
they
happened.
just
That
took it
was-
over. They were pirates.
Do you think maybe those cops just wanted to be a part of the show? That's why they kept showing up?
Dude, the cops had their own TV
They
cameras.
were filming an episode of Cops.
They had their own TV.
Swear.
I think it was actually called Live PD or something, but they were there for content too.
Cool. Send them a bill, Dan.
Yeah, didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when Mark is talking about what did Mike Draco said, are they painting black lines? If you wonder what Mark's talking about, let me throw this up here real quick. So this was the Toast Shop Party preview from a high above the street, and man, it was. I guess we ought to just get right into that, right? Like, so last year we started out with
like a couple people.
and it was a nice party. It was still it was busy. It was nice. We had a good time. This year we asked Dan, we're like, "We doing this again?" He was like, "Yeah." Hey,
You know what? I knew it was bad when we went to go pick up some groceries and stuff. And I'm at the cash register, and the lady's like, "Boy, it looks like you're having a party." And I'm like, "Yeah, we are. 500 North Beach Street. You should go." I am. I already know about it. I'm like,
Are you serious?
yeah. I was like,
my gosh.
yeah.
Oh, that's
And then when
funny.
we rolled up to the shop, we just started passing rows of bikes. I'm like, oh man, here we go.
yeah, it was.
Yep,
It was, yeah.
Dude,
there.
Mark, it was block after block. I mean, like 2-3 blocks
I think
down
I was
the
on
street.
the phone with you while you were pulling
And
up
it
there. You
was
said.
like everything. It was a lot of young kids, and it was just the greatest mix of people.
Yeah,
so
that's cool.
I have a little video prepared for this so that we can take a look at the live action from the Tuesday tacos and burnout party at Toast. Let's check it out. Okay, so the very first thing we have to say before we start laughing our asses off is the Daytona police are the most kind and patient people on the face of the planet, because they were there 4 times before they finally looked at us and said, listen, we haven't arrested anybody, but if we come back again, we're coming back with SWAT.
So it was a tire they were talking about when they said bring a spare rubber to the Toce party. So that was a tire.
Oh,
Dan,
did you see them like doing jump rope with the bikes? Were you out there for any of that?
I caught a piece of that. Yeah, I mean those guys, they're looking for a place to do this. So they're out to have a good time. They're not really starting trouble. They're doing what they do.
Yeah, putting on a show. Yeah.
Mark at one.
They love the attention, and I mean,
they found a place.
Look at those videos. Yeah, exactly. You look at those videos and you say, "Oh man, I think they caught a piece of some of those burnouts and wheelies." It's like, no, they were doing that for 2 hours straight.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was like you heard rev limiter for 2 hours. Yeah. It was crazy.
That's a pretty awesome video.
My favorite thing, the guy that had the run this plate on it.
Yeah.
He was the guy that.
You will not implicate yourself in an ongoing investigation.
He was a very skilled rider. That's
there
all
you
I was
go.
gonna say.
There you go.
Nice save.
No, he was one that was
misunderstood.
like people were doing jump rope. Like it was like the motorcycles were jump ropes. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's cool.
So Mark, at one point, there were so many people in the parking lot that you literally no one else could fit in. No more bikes could fit in.
No people, no bikes.
And out on the street, it was lined up and down the street. The police came, like I said, a couple times, and they were super, super cool. They were like, okay, guys, that's enough of that. The last time they came, though, they came with 2 tow trucks. They pulled up, both tow trucks, the backs went up, the tow truck bodies came down, the police came over, and they were like, that's it. And that was where there was one gentleman on the lot that was having a vigorous discussion with the local law enforcement officers, and he was explaining civil rights and the application thereof.
And it wasn't Chris this time.
No, it wasn't. But it was at that point that we had to drag Dan's father away from the police. And I seriously thought he was going to jail.
He was just putting his foot down.
I got to put him in timeout for 50 years.
I'm sorry I missed the food. Did you see the spread?
Oh, my God.
You had to be quick, man. We had a ton of food, and it went really fast.
Well, because spread was only like one section. There was a whole other spread of like make your own tacos.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think any of us like that were hosting it, like Dan or Natalia or Chris or I, got a single bite to eat.
No.
It was gone.
Well, no, that was there.
That.
But it was so
good.
worth it. It was so worth it.
It looked like fun.
Everybody had such a good time. You know, the son of a bitch about it is, like, I actually turned around. I was out on the street trying to find out what all the ruckus was about. And I turned around to a bunch of the young guys. I said, "This is bullshit." And they all like you know, I thought they was going to come at me, right? And I said, if we would have done this, I said, I'm a member of the previous generation. If we would have done this for 5 minutes, the cops would have been here.
Would have been in jail. I just want you all to know, at that point while you're having fun at Dan's, I was curled up in a ball under my Impala crying. Just to let you all know.
Like, seriously though, Dan, why do you think it grew like so fast? Because last year it was maybe 50 people, if that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, everybody's looking for a place to go at this point, because a lot of these guys, they don't drink. They're there for bikes. That's what they want to do. Mm-hmm. And so they're not all about, just drinking on Main Street. They want a place to go, and, we're having it. We like it. We like, we're all about the scene. So, and then we have all the old school guys and custom builders, and half these guys are staying in the parking lot. It was cool. I really wish Joey Orsini could have been there, because he was, he had his bike to do wheelies and all that stuff. He would have been out there. He probably would have broke something of mine. But that's kind of, cost of doing business, I guess.
Well, not gonna lie, I'm surprised. I think I'm a little surprised that you weren't out there.
Me? Those guys burned out in our drag strip. That's where we had the drag races in October, remember?
Yeah.
We weren't there for that. We missed that one.
My father was the flag man for that, remember?
I know Billy Grotto was out there on his brand new, freshly painted motorcycle. He was raising hell.
Not shocking.
You're also not going to say what company he represents. He was
No.
there as
I'm
an
not naming
individual.
anybody.
I just said
was there.
freshly painted motorcycle.
But you know, like I said, man, this place. So in the garage at night at Tosa's, you can find any number of people. Everybody from every corner of the motorcycle world, whether it's Sons of Speed Racers or the Chopper Kids, like everybody's there. Like there just seems to be such a great community all week long around this, man. For the way that place brings people together.
And that's one of the cool things about it is that camaraderie again, you know, especially Dan hosting that section of it. But everybody works together so well. And then you go out and compete against each other on the next turn, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, to see, and we had Daniel Heeman there and his crew, his dad, everybody, and they're making head gaskets for bikes from scratch.
In the parking
we
lot.
make a couple phone calls. Yeah, we make a couple phone calls. I mean, it's 11 o'clock at night, and they're starting. So at 5 o'clock in the morning, you hear a bike fire. It shuts off, and then all those guys are in their bus. You know what I mean?
And dude, your dad was so impressed with the young guys, Daniel and a couple young guys that work with him, for their work ethic and the way they go at stuff. Like he couldn't tell me enough. Every time I saw him, he'd come over and he'd say, "Hey, let me tell you about these guys." He was just really, really impressed with that.
Yeah, I mean, my father loves to go there. Any hour of the night, he's wandering around the parking lot, seeing who's doing what. You know what I mean? Watching bikes go by. You know, and then he gives you the update in the morning.
Yeah.
But it's all good. He got to go to all the shows. You know, there was a time in my life with my father where it was kind of like, "Oh, you're going to be a loser. All your friends are losers." That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And now it's like he likes all my friends. I'm probably still a loser, but he likes all my friends.
Well, we should mention that where all of this starts and ends from, the race and everything that goes on, is the fact that if you don't know the name Toce Performance, you probably live under a rock. But you know, as far as performance exhaust on both sides of the industry, like they're killing it. Toce and Stevenson are involved in a number of projects together with both the Softail or the Sportster S and the Pan American. And where are you guys at with some of those products? Because I know you're currently working on some new stuff to release.
Okay, yeah, we sold a bunch of Pan Americas this past year. We're still doing those. We actually improved it. We're going to a full system, so a complete header. And before we were selling just a slip-on. Now it'll be a full exhaust. We're at the final stages of that. The Sportster S, all the dyno stuff's done with it. All the fixtures, all the tooling to go into production. We're held up a little bit with shields. Anything with motorcycle exhaust, the shields, I swear they cost more than the exhaust to build.
No shit, huh?
Yeah, so we're getting into carbon fiber and we're going that route now.
Dude,
you can see in that video.
Dude, this bad dude right here. Anyone who knows anything about fabrication and manufacturing, like this makes me envy.
Oh yeah.
Heavy.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. And now you know Joey Orsini works for me too, and he's the guy that was trained on that bender. So I don't know how I'm gonna have to wheel his ass in there. We've got one other guy, and I was trained briefly on it, but so he's gonna be operating that from a wheelchair, I guess.
Hey.
At least there's no heavy lifting.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that thing is so badass.
Super cool.
Yeah, I mean that streamlines production. So a machine like that can do multi-radius bends on one tube. So you're not unloading them. You're not welding multiple pieces together.
Yeah.
It definitely streamlines it. It keeps the cost down and it keeps the defects down. You know, doing it all CNC, and then we digitally scan the pipes, and we can use that for inspection and for manufacturing. So, we're getting there.
What size pipes can that thing bend? I mean,
you can buy any sets of die. It'll go up to 3-inch if you buy the dies.
Yeah.
We are set up for 2-inch multi-radius now, because we keep all the 1 3/4, 1 inch, 1.5 inches. It's all on our other bender. We have a CNC Pines bender that we've had for a long time. That's like a real workhorse. But this one, for all the V-twin stuff, is really designed for what we do now.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, in addition to the annex that went on at the shop, and again, I can't thank you and Natalia and Steve and everybody involved with your shop for giving all of us a place to do that, because, you know, it's Daytona is super, super busy. Like no matter what part of the industry or the culture that you occupy, you get so busy with the week that, you know, if we didn't have something like that to really bring us together and give us one focus point where we all get to see each other, sometimes we'd be without
lose
that.
sight of it. Yeah, absolutely.
So we super appreciate that. But in addition to that, you've been involved in the Sons of Speed racing since the very first one. You guys, you know, together with Stevenson, filled a hell of a team with Joey. We've had Joey and eBay Jake on, who we've said a number of times, if it was pissing holes in the snow or taking garbage cans out to the curb,
they'd race.
They would race.
Yeah.
And talk shit the whole time they were doing it. But the Sons of Speed was a whole other thing this year that went to another level.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't think that if you saw the first event that you would have ever said it would get to see how fast the bikes are, how skilled the riders are, how many people are involved in it. And this event, the stands were full, the pits were full. Yep. Teams, there were teams that we never saw before. And it's still, the nice thing about that is everybody's still, it's like a friendly camaraderie competition. So, you know, we didn't lose that, although it grew this much. You know what I mean?
You know, one of the great things was last year, Billy brought Andy George on, and we all knew Andy was going to bring another level to this thing. But one of the things that Andy did was he managed to get Northern Tool involved, and Northern Tool brought in the live stream to Sons of Speed. So if you guys aren't aware of this, every single race was live streamed. You can check it out on what is it, Heather? Choppers Inc.'s Facebook page.
And I'll drop a YouTube. Excuse me.
YouTube.
I'll drop a link in the comments so people, if they want to go see it, they can.
But really good, because you know, a lot of times all of our footage comes like we'll run over after getting off the bike and grab a couple clips here and there. But this was an actual live stream of every round, all the racing. You get to really get a feel for
Kyle Petty
calling the race, right?
Like that was
That's
that
cool.
in and of itself was cool.
No.
Yeah, I mean, Kyle Petty called me to check on Joey. You know,
Did he really?
2 days later, and then called again in another day or two after that.
Oh, that's awesome.
And you're just like, yeah, that's solid stuff. Like he fits right in with all of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I spent a good part of the time, you know, everybody checking on our guys, and that's huge to me. I mean, you look at Freddie. Freddie's the heart of this, you know, in a sense. He's such a good guy, and he's just involved as deep as you could be involved. And the races, it's for growing like this. I think it was, it was run good. I think, you know, no one expected any of the bad stuff to happen. We've had a lot of events, and you know, randomly we'll have a crash here and there. Yeah, but this one was a rough one. When it hits your camp or your pit, man, it really stings. You know.
Yeah, and to see everybody come together is, like you'd said, for people to call and check on each other and stuff. That's pretty awesome. And you said the size of it, you know, with it growing bigger, I think it's the core. That'll never change that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to be a part of that, if you don't fit in with that core, boy, you're not welcome. You're probably going to be removed. So, which is the great thing about that.
Yeah, I don't think anybody has the balls to start trouble in there at that point.
No,
you know?
bad move.
No.
For sure.
I mean, even since last year, like the 45 class has grown
so
exponentially. Like that was huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've got like a lot of the top tier of riders there that are just getting so fast, and they're all friends. Those guys are all friends. You know, there's no big secrets that I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. It's everybody gets along. You know, I mean, to see when Joey crashed, to see eBay throw his arm up in the air, he's the one that really set off the flags, and then you know came around. He got over there again, couldn't downshift his bike. You know. Climbed off his bike, ran up to make sure Joe is all right. I mean, those, you know, none of these guys want to hear that oh, Jake couldn't get his bike running. Well, I don't have to worry about him. It's not like that.
No.
It's like, well, let's help Jake get his bike running.
Yeah,
I want to
what's he
beat him,
need?
but I want
Yeah.
to beat him on the track.
Yeah.
And everybody's like that. No one wants to see someone not up and running.
Absolutely.
So
here is we have world-class singles champion, 2-time single champion now, Tom Kiefer, making laps on his I believe this is a 1914. Is that right, Tom? Are you watching
I think
tonight?
he's a 13 or a 16 maybe.
But he's a veteran too from the beginning. A lot of you guys, you know, remember us talking about the golden era of Sons of Speed was that first race. The first race, the week before the race, when everybody was working in Billy's shop around the clock, motors were being built, frames were being built. Paul Cox drug in a box of parts and walked out of that shop in time for race day with a motorcycle. Was crazy. But to see it come all the way from there to this now it's undescribable.
It was so great. Like, and I have to tell you guys, I can't believe Chris didn't have a stroke at some point. He was like a kid in a candy store.
Listen, so let me give a shout out to Aaron Lovelace, who our original intention was we were going to be racing the pea shooter with Banks Racing and the Antique Outlaws. That motorcycle was having some problems. We worked on it the whole first day of practice. We weren't able to get it together, but eventually Aaron was there with 2 pea shooters, and he let me the second day of practice. I practiced with his backup pea shooter the whole day. It was the fastest bike on the track. It was stupid fast, and eventually, the end of the day of practice, his other pea shooter took a shit. His motor blew up, and he decided that. Well, we kind of all talked him into the fact that he had to ride that bike.
He wasn't going to run it.
I know, dude.
Like, we literally had to be like, hey, it's your bike.
You gotta
should ride
run
it.
Yep. So it was really cool of him, but he let me get a lot of laps on it. And I really, like, that was the real blast. I got to race in 2 classes, practice in 3. So I think by the time the 2 days of practice was over, Mark, I got somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 laps.
Yeah.
You couldn't keep track of him. Like, he would come in
It was-
off of one bike, and you'd look away for a second, and he was gone. And we're like, oh, maybe he's, going to the bathroom or whatever. No, you'd look up on the track. He's out there on another motorcycle. I'm like,
Hey,
dude.
seat time, baby, seat time.
was
You can't
ridiculous.
beat seat time.
yeah, you were like literally like a NASCAR race. Come in for 2 tires,
Yeah.
gas. Well, hey, too soon on the gas one.
Chris would come in.
Oh.
Yeah, we didn't come in
Chris
for
would
gas.
come in for a new bike.
we didn't come in for gas, which here's the big story. Because we didn't come in for gas, I won my heat in the twins in the with the 1916. I go out. I've never been able to run with the fast guys in that class, which are Dan Toce, Shelley Rossmeyer, like
Mike Lang.
I still can't run with Mike Lang.
I don't know
Mike
that
Lang is a
anybody
poet
can.
on the track.
Oh,
He's incredible to watch. But I've followed Mike. I've followed Mike Lang enough now that I've picked up enough stuff that I was doing good, man. I think we were in the 3rd lap of the final. I made the final with the 16. We were in the 3rd lap. I was in a solid 2nd place, and the bike started coughing. I drifted down to the apron, and out of suspicion, I twisted the cap open, and it was bone dry. And dude,
Whose fault's that?
it was my fault. I mean, I'm riding a bike, but God, the empty
No, you were-
feeling.
You were running good all day, though. You really were.
It was
Like,
great to watch you two
Yeah.
on the track.
I got a
together.
real good. I was trying to really see what Chris is doing on the inside. I got really close on the track.
Yeah. Almost too close in one corner.
No, you know what though? I watched that video because Dan sent me the video right before the show, so I didn't
Oh,
have
I
enough
need to
time
see it.
to get it on. But I was watching that video, and I expected it to be way closer than it was, because he comes in and he's going to pass me on turn 4, and he came close. And when he came in, his tire like chirped a little bit, and we both did a little sway, But the entire bleachers went, like you could hear it on the track. And I expected it to be. I said, man, I got to see this video, because obviously, we really looked like we were going to die.
That wasn't the entire bleachers. That was me.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, Oh, it's kind of like when Danger Dan almost ran me over last year.
Yeah, rubbing is racing, you know.
It was a good time.
I don't know if rubbing is. Yeah, not on this track.
No, so
rubbing is racing on these bikes is in this track.
Bill Stevens says it looked close even on the live stream.
I need to see it. I didn't see it.
So that brings us to the fact that we, with all the good stuff, and congratulations to Billy and his whole team. Thank you to Northern Tool. Thank you to Andy George for all the hard work. Darcy, everybody that was involved from that camp. It does bring us to the fact that we have to talk about the other side of this. So we're going to give you guys some updates and stuff. Real quick, I wanted to take a minute and look at the event report so we can give you some of the highlights that went down at Sons of Speed 23. When we come back on the other side of this, we're going to talk about the updates of Joey Orsini and Moonshiner Josh.
I'm Suresh Krishna. I'm the CEO of Northern Tool and Equipment. So Northern Tool has been supporting tradespeople and serious DIY folks for 40 years. We call them skilled solvers. These are folks who are passionate about the projects that they do, but whether it's restoring bikes or restoring cars. So when we heard about Sons of Speed, we thought this is our customer base that we want to support. This is our first time into motorcycles, and we are loving every moment of it as we are interacting with the racers themselves. We in fact brought 3 kids from a high school that we are sponsoring for Tools for Trades to work in the pits, and they worked with the motorcycle racers and their mechanics yesterday, and they got the best experience of their life. So we've started Tools for the Trade, a program to help high school kids explore trades as a career option. We started that 2 years ago, and as part of that, we go into high schools where they have a CTE program or career technical education program, and work with their teachers to find out what kind of equipment the kids would need to complete their curriculum. And since we sell a lot of products that are for tradespeople, we are able to provide the latest and best equipment to these schools. We are in this to make sure that high school kids can have another career option, and they can choose for themselves whether they want to follow a 4-year degree program or want to take another path, which is a career in the trades.
Hey, I'll tell you, seriously, man, no idea what you do at the beginning of the week of Bike Week, but if you miss this thing, this really, really reinvested so many of us into the idea of Bike Week again. It is literally brought back the idea of old Daytona.
Yeah, racing.
And I can't thank Billy enough because the undertaking has been monumental, but all the racers too, man. Like a lot of you guys, Dan, you and your team, and a lot of the OGs in this have really put in for it for a long time.
Oh, to put this thing together, just to come up with a whole concept and make it all happen. I mean, it's an incredible event, and it's brought so many friendships and so many people together. It's just, I can't thank everybody enough. Andy does an incredible job running it. It's just, it's really falling into place.
Yeah.
The competition is good, but it's a friendly competition.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, like you said, anybody who saw the first race could have never imagined that this thing would evolve into what it is now, because seriously, man, here's the thing. Like, I'll tell you this as the editor of a magazine, longtime motorcycle enthusiast, I was interested in this, but I thought to myself, I'm like, okay, half-mile track, early 1900 motorcycles, this is going to be a lot like watching paint dry. But well, not just wrong, because 70, 80 miles an hour some of these bikes are doing out there.
The first time we went, I remember leaving and saying, like, holy crap, that was way more than I expected.
But then also, like, as it starts to evolve, they add the 45 class in. Now they're adding pea shooters and big twin class, and like, people are really starting, like, what the bike that you guys come with, Dan, that bike is no joke. That is full on racing. And I mean, even Joey's style, when you watch Joey race, he is a proficient racer. Like, he is working the track. He understands body position. He understands everything about what he's doing out there.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. He's never raced track bikes, sport bikes, anything like that ever before this. So he's evolving. That seat type is improving him, and he's a study. He's watching guys like Jake and even Josh and Rusty. Like, they learn from each other. And Joey goes there like he's going to school, but when the final hits, he's going to take everyone to school, and that's his intention. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's a natural.
He really is, and he's. I mean, can you imagine Steve Broyles as your crew chief?
Yeah, right.
Like, that can get very stressful and very rewarding.
Sometimes it's stressful for me to have Steve's pit as my neighboring pit. Like, seriously.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
Steve's very clear about what he's doing. Everything is very he's meticulous, the jetting, and he's trying to think to change things. And when it's running good, Joey comes in, don't touch anything, don't let him talk me into it. Like, and Steve, like, great is perfect, but we got to be a little better.
One step better, yeah.
Another notch. There's still another notch.
Do you have a history of racing, or is this your first?
Only as far as street racing, yeah, this is it. Some drag racing, motocross and BMX as a kid. Screwing around with cars all the time, but never on a track. Yeah, so this is, but I kind of went through the learning curve, or a lot of it in the beginning. You never stop learning, but you evolve as a rider. Just like, look at Chris. I told Steve after that, I said, all right, number one most improved rider is Chris. Hands down, because, dude, you and me diced it out and screwed around the last event, and then here it is. Like, I'm trying to catch you,
Well,
and it's funny. We also have Jason Brooks and Chris Stepanowski. This was his first race, and he goes out there and he's like, "Dude, my bike's too fast. I got to gear it down. It's this, it's that." And I'm like, "Just keep doing laps." I said, and every time he would come in, someone from our pit, like Joey or myself or even Steve, would come over and be like, "Try this on the corner. You're doing this. You're doing that." And you could watch him evolve. We had 2.5 days of practice, so you watched him improve. And he went from my bike's not fast enough and gearing the bike, or it's too fast and gearing it back, to
you got to give me some
the
more.
night before gearing it forward, saying no, it was me that wasn't fast, couldn't handle it.
Yeah,
and
and that's what I say all the time about Michael Lang. about him being a poet. If you don't understand what I'm saying about that, all the motocross schools that I've ever gone to in my life will tell you you have to slow down to go fast. And you don't understand this at first, but when you slow down, you start paying attention to technique and you develop a rhythm with consistency. That's what wins races, man. You can every once in a while a racer will come along like Bubba. When Bubba was racing, he was just sometimes he was hanging off the side of the bike. That's how Jake races. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He's totally wild.
Balls out,
But to see somebody like Michael Lang, Michael is so smooth. He's so consistent. Like, that's why he's so impossible to beat, because he's never out of position. He never has the wrong line.
He's with the flow, yeah.
Yeah, he can ride any line, and he's if you watch him riding, it doesn't look like he's going fast.
Nope.
It doesn't look like he's struggling to go fast. He doesn't get shook. He's got nerves of steel, and he's also another one that, with all his experience, that will always help you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's good to see. I love the fact that, the major contenders in that 45 class were probably like Rusty, this new guy, Tim Joyce. He's a player in ARMA. Jake, Josh, Joey. I mean, you watch these guys, and all of them have their different style, but each one of them can almost run every line. They can make changes on the fly.
Yeah.
It's just it's so exciting to watch. It really is.
Well, and I've had the pleasure in practice a few times. I forget who sent us this picture, so I apologize.
I think that was Jim Doms.
Okay. I've had the pleasure a couple times to watch Joey for a second or two. Like right after this practice session, he came up to me and he said, "Hey man, I hope I didn't scare you when I came by you like that." But when you watch these fast guys, and this is something to talk about, man. I mean, the difference between the slower racers and the faster racers, you're talking about guys that are going 70 miles an hour to guys that are doing 90 miles an hour. And sometimes, I mean, that's where some of this comes into play. When you have a big field of riders and you have a 90 mile an hour guy like Joey, like Jake, like Josh, and they come around the back of the pack and there's a 70 mile an hour guy, that 20 miles an hour is a huge difference.
Oh gosh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, that's you hate to say this because I know everybody cringes when I say it, but it's part of racing. It happens in every motorsport where there's people competing,
Yeah, I mean, it is part of it. It's almost like, I don't know, I think a lot of it is experience as well. I think that these guys need to, it was exciting to watch. It's great to see a lot of bikes on the track, but I think these guys are tuned at a different level.
Right.
And, I've been in situations where I'm in practice and I'm on the ragged edge, I feel. And then Jake goes by me on the inside, almost like waving, like looking at me. I'm looking at like, I'm in fear for my life, and watch him go by like, "Yay, what's up?"
Right? Yeah, he's actually doing a YouTube short as he goes by.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's holding up a selfie stick, like, "Hey, I'm with Dan," goes by.
No, but I agree with that. I mean, that's one of the things that we've all talked about. Is I think, and Billy even said it. When he was coming down, I put that piece of footage of all the 45 guys to show everybody how many 45s showed up. And Billy even said it. He would have never imagined that this thing would have evolved into that many 45s. He didn't think people were even going to be interested. You know what I mean? So I think we've actually come to a point now where, 3-4 years in for some of these guys, and their skills are coming up, their bikes are coming up, everything else. I think we're almost to a point where there has to be a division line, not so much like in the other things you have the stock, stock 61, hot 61, but I think now we're almost reaching a point where you have to have, based on lap time or something, you have to have the fast 45s and the novice 45.
I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, well, you have
I think so. It should be. I mean, you can probably pick any of the days to do your qualifying heat. I mean, you got guys like Joey. Joey doesn't want to race. He doesn't want to. No one's going to sandbag it. These guys don't want to race and win the lower class.
Right.
They want to win their class.
Right.
They want to race with these guys safely and win their class. And I think that maybe that's the direction it has to go. It really does. Because Joey hit Chuck for his accident, and he he was passing him. I don't think Chuck knew that he was there or that he was coming on that fast.
Right.
And when he dropped down to a lower line, that was the line Joey was headed for. He didn't have the choice, so he had to go to the next line, but he just had too much momentum. He was just, you got to remember, we don't have brakes.
Yeah.
So that takes one
no
element.
joke.
That takes one element right out of your decision making, you know? And
yeah, and a lot of people don't understand that. I mean, you know, when you think about that first, you think, okay, well, that means I just have to gauge where the corner's at, when I need to let off, you know, how much speed I can carry through a corner. But
Technique.
if anything happens, there's debris on the track, another rider takes your line, you're going too hard, that your line is going out wide to the wall, you have no brakes.
Yeah,
you know, you're not downshifting and holding yourself back from the wall with these motorcycles, you know.
No, would you split classes based on like a qualifying lap time or like?
You'd almost have to. That's the only thing that would be fair.
Well, and I mean that's what I would think, because some people may think that they should be in the pro class and they're not quite there yet.
No,
I don't know.
It would have to be something with timing, because I don't know another way. Because Dan, what do you think? Like, you get a lot of guys that want to argue about transmission and all the different factors that come in, especially in the 45 class. It'd be too hard to do it based on mechanical.
Right. It would have to be off times, and I think you ask these guys, they know who the contenders are. I mean, they're all watching each other in practice to see how close everybody is. But I think in the big picture, you know who the contenders are, and if you want to qualify and race in that class, then you should have to make, you know, say a 25 or 25 and a half second lap time. You know, at least get one in the books.
Yeah.
And you know, almost be voted in for that matter. You know, you look at the other classes, the Hawk 61 and Stock 61. There's not a lot of conflict. You know, those guys. You know, I'm happy with the class I'm in. If I had a faster bike, I wouldn't want to be there. You know.
No, and think about how much better that would make the races for the fast guys.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That would really step that program up too.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, eventually when you have Joey or Jake or these guys on the show, you could ask them, but they said that the lap traffic was like cones. It was like coming around the corner and there's just, you know, it's like
I think those two
whack-a-mole.
just need to be out there by themselves. Like, honestly, just
I mean, all those guys. Think about that.
There's a lot of fast guys.
Oh
there.
yeah.
Josh was he was a contender. Josh is a different style rider, man. He's ragged edge and he's not going to let off. He's not afraid of that bike. Although he says he is, he's not. You know, and they have their own style of riding and they want to beat each other. They don't want to see any of this other crap going down, you know?
So that brings us to the hard parts to talk about. And, you know, I want all of you guys to get together, all of the Cycle Source Shop Talk family that are out there watching. Get your prayer warriors out, man, and get ready, because there were a couple accidents during this year's program. Two of them that were substantial, and one of them was Joey Orsini that we're talking about here on Dan's team. And luckily, by the night of the party, we actually all got to do a live feed with Joey from his hospital bed.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough one, and he crashed where on the last lap the white flag already went, and we didn't see him come around. And you know how fast these guys are going. So when you don't see someone coming around, they're not broken down at that speed. They would have coasted by us. And you know, when we're in the pits, you don't hear all that. You can't hear the announcing or anything like that. And then all of a sudden you see everybody stand up. You know somebody's down. And to run over there. I mean, his dad was there. Our whole team. You know.
And his dad is such a proud dad to begin with, and like he loves him so much, you know.
He even broke out the baby book.
But the sound of the motorcycle it's hard to hear that, you know. And like, so where is Joe right now? Like, how's it going with his recovery?
All right, so he had his surgery in Florida. They fused L1 two vertebrae above and two below, and then they put two rods in. He also broke his scapula, and so that'll be in a sling. That's the recovery part of that. I mean, we went to see him in the hospital, obviously, as much as we could. Jake, the first night I went to go see him, Jake calls me, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going to the hospital. Can you get me in?" I said, "I don't know if I'm going to be able to see him myself." He said, "I don't care. I'm going anyways." I mean, you had Bill Dodge and Roy. Those guys were at the hospital knowing they couldn't get in, outside praying. I mean, it's just the support was crazy. I mean, great, crazy in a good way. I think that, Joey was in a lot of pain. He hit the wall pretty good, and no one saw it, and there was barely any footage of it. So we really didn't know what happened. I know Chuck came to me, and he was kind of, he was pretty upset. He's like, "I hope I didn't do that. I don't know what happened." And, he showed me his bike where it was, where Joey tagged him on the left side, switching lines and fold his number plate over and all that stuff. I mean, if you're Chuck and you're riding, you don't realize someone's coming that fast, and all of a sudden you get tagged. That's a wake up right there,
Yep.
But now, as of now, Joey had his surgeries. He's home now. He's got the Bentley of lazy boy chairs. His girlfriend, his dad, they're all solid. Everybody was with him. His aunt, everybody was with him in the hospital. Making sure all the right things were happening. And I mean, he knew when he got into the hospital, he knew that Jake came. I mean, Josh came in maybe an hour later or something like that. And he could hear Josh kind of screaming in the hallway and stuff. And he's like, "Oh man, I have no idea what's going on." And then a day later, Joey was like, "Can you put him in my room?" He wanted those guys, he wanted them to be in the same room.
Yeah.
Which is awesome, because that's, he wanted to be there when Josh woke up. He wanted to make sure he had family around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, it was very hard to move on and finish the race and everything with that going on. I mean, because when Josh crashed, Jake was part of that. Actually, it was first Rusty crashed. He got up in the marbles, got loose, hit the wall, flipped off the bike, almost like somersaulted and walked off it.
Yeah.
But obviously at speed. And then, I think part of the crash may have had something to do with Josh's crash. So they restarted that race, and it was Jake, Josh, Tim Joyce. At that point, Rusty and Joey were both out. And they're heavy hitters. Those guys are moving, and they're really tight. And Josh lost it in the corner, hit the wall. No one. Safety vehicles are almost coming on the track. These guys are still racing. The red flags were just a little behind, just enough to where they didn't see it.
Yeah.
And when Jake came around that corner, man, he said he saw the safety vehicle. I wasn't on the track yet, but it was headed there. He saw Josh's yard sale in the middle of the turn, and then he bailed. His bike, he tried to go down lower and slid off and bailed. Which, like you said before, that's really that's experience, and that's, sometimes you got to make that sacrifice, and not everybody will do it. That's why those guys belong racing each other.
Yeah.
Yep.
At that speed, you need to be able to make moves like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and I gotta say too, Josh, God bless him, and please send your prayers, because that was one of the most violent things I've ever seen. He hit that wall so hard, and I can't even imagine. Yep.
Yeah.
It just left everyone there speechless. I know we have we queued up a message real quick here from Freddie from Godspeed Racing on what Josh's condition is. So let's check us out for a minute.
Hey everybody, it's Freddie with Godspeed Racing. I just want to let everyone know, all Josh Owen fans, all Josh Owen friends, all Godspeed Racing fans, all Sons of Speed fans, I just want to let all our brothers and sisters, all our fellow racers know that Josh Owens is doing extremely well. He broke both of his legs, both of his kneecaps. Hurt his ankle really bad, broke his neck. not to the point to where he's paralyzed or anything like that, but it should heal on its own. He had surgery day before yesterday on his legs. We woke him up out of the coma yesterday. He was really rambunctious and, hurting, a lot of pain, crying a lot, and he recognized us all. He's alert. He knows. He's loopy from the medications, but he didn't realize what had happened to him. But he's doing good. And we want to, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for the prayers. We want to thank you for all, the comments that you guys make. We thank you for the love that you and concern that you have. Thank you so much. There will be a GoFundMe set up and some fundraisers that we're going to get together and put together so we can get some funds together to help Josh. When he gets out the hospital and he's ready to come home and start rehab, he'll be coming to my house, and I'll be taking care of him until he gets better. Only thing I can say is that I really appreciate you all. I love you all. I thank God that Josh is still with us and that he's still alive. There was no head trauma. There was no internal bleeding. His heart and liver and kidneys were all bruised very badly. And we had to wait for the heart to heal a little bit before they could have the actual operation. He didn't lose no legs. He didn't die. Nothing like that. He is in not too good of shape as far as the way he should be, but he's in very good shape, if you understand what I mean. So I love you guys. I hope that you guys are all that you all will continue to be supportive, and just know that when I get updates, you'll get updates. If you have any questions, you can look on my Facebook or whatever and ask me, and I'll try to answer. Thank you very much. I love you all. God bless you all. And thank you so much for all your prayers. Thank you.
One of the best human beings.
Oh, yeah.
I think we have the privilege of being around, whether the racetrack or...
Yeah, what a nice guy.
Yep. And I mean, to begin with, here's a man who, sometimes 14, 15 motorcycles are on the track that are all carrying the Godspeed logo, and he brings them and puts people out there. Our friends came in from Arizona, Drew and Ashley Woodford, that run the Buell Brothers, Buell Sister experience bike to let people get that experience at Bonneville. They came in, he put them both on a motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
He's just such a good human being, and breaks my heart because you can see emotionally this tore Freddie down immediately. Immediately. It was like he was watching one of his own kids out there.
In a sense, yeah, he was. And if you know Josh at all, every time you see Josh at another event, you have to ask him before you give him a hug, what's broken so I can't squeeze that, And it's always like that. He's like so much fun. He's so outgoing. He's always doing 185 mile an hour. And to see him down, and obviously I wasn't there, but to see him down like this is, that's a great human being. Can't wait to hear from him. Because, he's always one of my favorite people to talk to. So can't wait to have him on here. He's eventually we got to get him on here. So.
Yeah, I think that would be a good show, having Joey, Jake, all these guys, if you could get them together, because they're just to watch them banter is always fun. I mean, it's they're all cut from the same cloth,
Well, we'll for sure keep all you guys updated as soon as they get the GoFundMe together for Josh. We're gonna put it out there because like that. If nothing else, if all of us gave $1, it doesn't matter what that number adds up to. It's every dollar that comes in is another thing saying, hey brother, we love you. We're here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And keep in mind that those posts, like check Freddie's page for those, because unfortunately there are some unscrupulous people out there.
Oh yeah.
That have already tried to do a scam GoFundMe. So,
Are you kidding me, man?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
So just make sure you get that directly from either Josh's page or Freddie's page. I know Josh's, I believe it's cousin, is doing an update every now and then on Josh's page. But
oh, look at that, eBay Jacob, love you, Toce. It's
I love
so
you, man.
it's so funny for the battles that go on between these guys, like how close you guys are, really. You know, like him telling you he wanted to go to the hospital, he didn't care he was getting in there.
yeah,
And,
it's a family. I mean, it really is. Like,
I mean, Joey was in the hospital bed, and I think his girlfriend said, "Why can't you guys do something like knitting or something like that?" And Jake's like, "I'm pretty sure I could beat you at knitting," and Joey's like, "No way, I'll kill you at knitting." And here's Joey, you know, not pre-surgery, already in pain. You know?
I see a competition at next year's Sons of Speed.
they were talking about who could bleed faster.
Yeah, because
Like,
Joey told
seriously?
me at the race, Josh, like, Jake's like, "I could bleed faster than you." Yeah, it's not even a question.
Yeah, they will race anything.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to be 90 and they're going to be racing walkers. I guarantee it.
Dude, that's the funny part. Like, you're young, you race. Like, you know, we drag raced and all kinds of crazy stuff. And now I'm almost 60. You couldn't talk me into getting on something like that.
dude, how about I called up from the track, and it was, you know, like in between heats or something. I think I won a heat, and I called Mark. And I'm like, yeah, this is what's going on. And I was so waiting for him to go, right on, man. He goes, okay, good. He said, you prove what you needed to yourself, or to whoever hell else you're trying to prove it to. Yeah. I need you to get the hell off the track.
Bike. Get off the bike. It's over. Let it go.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, man. You know, and for Josh, I mean, think about it. At this point, you know, he's getting to that age where the healing time's gonna be 3 times as long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and as sad as it is to say, and you hate to bring that up in a situation like this, but you know, that's the truth. That's how it goes. You know, get it in while you can, because the older you get, the harder it gets. So it's a shame. And to see, you know, I've said it before, God forbid something happened to Chris. You know, me and Heather can't do this. Me and Heather can support, me and Heather can push, me and Heather can do everything. This is Chris's doggy, not ours, you know?
But who the hell would listen to you, bitch?
Everybody. What do you mean? They do. Christ, they tune in to listen to it.
Not like me. Not like me, baby.
Yeah.
Well, Dan, listen, man. We've monopolized a whole bunch of your time. I told Dan, I said, hey, will you come on for 15 or 20 minutes? We've held you up here for an hour, but
I'm on OT.
Really appreciate, you know, tell Natalia we said thank you for giving us this time, and for you too. Like, this is, you know, to be able to come home from an event like this and do this kind of show really means a lot to us, and I know it means a lot to everybody that's watching, so thank you.
Yeah, it means a lot to me. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Dan.
All right, Dan. We'll talk to you soon, brother.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
All right, guys, you're watching Shop Talk here on the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio Network. We got a lot more to get to. Real quick right now, we're going to go to an announcement that we had in Daytona about a motorcycle that Mr. Paul Yaffe just finished.
Oh.
When we come back, we're going to do events and hit it.
What's up, Daytona Beach? Paul Yaffe here, Paul Yaffe Originals, and I am super excited to share the past 4 or 5 months of all I've been working on is this completely restored, every thread, every bearing, 1993 Harley-Davidson FXLR Anniversary Edition. This one is actually number 442 of only 800 made. And Dennis Kirk just had me restore this entire bike from all of their catalog parts, all the way down to the frame, freshly powder coated frame, all the way down to the motor cases, every bearing, balanced crank, pistons, valves, seals, rebuilt tranny, primary. And then when it was completely restored the paint, everything on this bike is better than new and pretty much completely original, except for I can't leave it completely stock. That's not what I do, right? I customize things, in this case, a little bit. So what we're going to call this is a period correct customization of a 1993 FXLR. This is the kind of work we used to do in the 90s when our customers would bring us these bikes. We would chrome everything out. There's $5,000 worth of chrome added to this bike. Little period correct things like Thunderheader was the super hot pipe in the 90s, right? Arlen Ness stealth mirrors, those were the hot 90s thing. I always loved this Ness quarter fairing that we had Hector color match the paint on and added it with some custom mounts that we fabricated so it looks like it's supposed to be here, right? We just took time and care in every little detail. This bike is perfect, and now, and I'm not sure if I'm happy about this, but now Dennis Kirk is going to give this bike away. One of you lucky people out there is going to win this bike. So get to DennisKirk.com, sign up for the Win This FXLR, Win Paul's FXLR sweepstakes. And this fall, at a date we'll announce soon, we're going to bestow this beautifully restored, perfect machine on one lucky winner. And it could be you. So don't miss out. Sign up again, DennisKirk.com. And I personally want to thank the people at Dennis Kirk for trusting in me to restore this beautiful piece of machinery. And it was really fun, man. It was a really great experience restoring every nut and bolt on this bike and just being painstakingly true to the originality of this machine. So check it out. Guys, enjoy Daytona. I'm sorry I couldn't be there. I've got a big expansion going on at the shop, new machinery showing up, and I've just got to be home. But check this thing out. I hope you're all having a great time. Enjoy the show today. Thank you, Dennis Kirk. And sign up. Paul Yaffe, out.
So, based on the comments, I'd say that a couple of you caught the live feed that we did from the stage in Daytona.
Oh, that stage crew tried so hard.
You know what, though? Like, here's the thing. When you go out and watch these productions, and you have to understand, like, it was raining like a cow pissing on the flat rock in Daytona. You guys were lucky that there was lights and audio to begin with, because when you see the shit that's going on backstage when stuff like that goes on, it's total chaos. People are trying not to get electrocuted.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to keep the show together. And then we come in, the garage build show ends at 4:30, and we're like, hey, Hairball, do you mind if we borrow your great big screen? And I have got to give the maddest props out to Sandy, the production guy from Hairball, because he was so patient and worked through all this stuff with us. And we finally, like 20 minutes before we're supposed to go on stage, we finally have a solution for Sandy to use the video. The audio guys, Colonel and Jeff, were going to take care of the audio. Everything's ready. I go up on stage, me and Jay Allen, we go back and forth. We get the whole crowd riled up. And I said, look, I'm not going to tell you any more about this bike. Let's go to Arizona, and I'm going to let Paul tell you. And the video comes up, and it's dead silent. And I'm like, oh boy. So right now, Paul's telling you how cool the bike is.
And look, he's putting on his glasses so he can see it better. It was great.
Oh,
it was great.
But it's awesome, and he has had a lot of fun with it. You know, talking to him through this project with Dennis Kirk, and they love that they're involved in this stuff too. So,
a couple things. We're picking up that bike when we go to Arizona,
right?
Do you think they'll miss it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll miss it.
We're gonna have to put in some break-in miles on it, though.
I don't know if we're allowed to.
They're probably not going to give us the keys.
Rob Nussbaum said, "Yeah, well, keys don't matter."
Yeah,
I grew up with this criminal.
Got a credit card.
Bob, I'm just saying, if it has a few extra miles on it when the winner gets it.
I don't know. Chris can't ride anything.
Mike gets it. That's showbiz, and the show must go on.
Chris can't ride anything like that. It has a front brake and not a 12-foot front end.
I know, right?
Right.
So Rob Nussbaum said he's so glad he finally got to meet Blondie.
I know, after all these years. Rob, you're way taller than I thought.
Right? So listen, hey, we're way over time on you guys, and we're not gonna beat it like a dead horse tonight. So tune in next week when we're gonna have another installment of the Daytona recap. Until then, please be kind to yourself. If we have any pressing events coming up, we'll put them out on our social media. Make sure you check us out at cyclesource.com for news and information. Hit all of our social media, but
YouTube's hopping.
Most importantly, that's it. Our YouTube channel is kicking ass. You guys are all signing up to be subscribers, and we're doing special content just for YouTube. So make sure you don't miss anything over there. And until we get a chance to get back together next time, thank you so much for 230 episodes of Shop Talk as of tonight. Can't even tell you what that means. We're at 299 this month with Cycle Source, and that's over 26
years. What are we gonna do for 300?
Dude, I think me and Mark got to dress like the guys from the movie 300.
I meant issue 300.
That's what I'm saying.
300.
No, we'll be on the cover. Somebody can airbrush.
We ought to do a Mad TV cover for, dude, that'd be fantastic. That'd be so funny.
This is Cycle Source.
I don't know. Maybe for issue 300, we should like repurpose issue 1.
Oh, it'd
like
be
the
dope,
cover
right?
from issue
It'd
1.
be dope. We could just do 24 pages inside of it.
You know what we probably could do? We could probably take all...
Drew Woodford, cancel my subscription. You're going to be on that cover with us, buddy boy.
We should take all the old parts, because we have the original motor, I think the handlebars and all the old parts and original bike on the cover, lay it in a big pile, and you should stand next to it.
Taking a piss.
All right, wait a minute. Before we go, Fletch Radar, we have to give a shout out to Mike Brown for completing
the
Iron Butt with only 9 Tylenol.
Right.
Wow, that's a plus.
Jeremy Sather, thank you so much.
I had more than that today. I didn't even drive 2 miles.
Right on, man. Well, listen, until we get together next week, make sure you tune in to Shop Talk 9 p.m. on the East Coast. Tell your friends. Spread it around. It's like a bad
Sharing
disease.
is caring.
You can tell them that we'll be here next Sunday. Same chopper time.
Same chopper channel.
Sharing is caring, Felicia.
I love this show. I love doing this. We'd like to thank our sponsors for their continued support, and we hope you pay them a visit when you're in the market for great motorcycle parts, products, and events. S&S Cycle, Makuni American, Baco Parts, The Broken Spoke Saloon, Twisted Tea, The Iron Horse Saloon, High Seas Rally, Twisted Choppers, Twin Power, Drag Specialties, Geico, Law Tigers, Tech Cycle, Fueling Parts, Lone Star Rally, Hijinks Apparel, Progressive Insurance, Spectral Oil, No School